Hi, and welcome to a special edition of the Weekend Warriors Workshop. This edition is my Yudo edition, and what I'm going to do today is clear up a couple things I've seen on the Yudo forum about applying emulsion sheets or liquid emulsion. It's real simple, and it's not going to take very long. So, like I said, I've got emulsion sheets here, I've got liquid emulsion here, and I've got a couple screens that I need to prepare so I can print a t-shirt for my grandson. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to work with the liquid emulsion because, well, liquid emulsion is real easy to use. You get a lot more screens done for your money, and it's just an easy process. Now, the process I'm going to use is the same one that you'll find on the videos by Lee over at UTs, so you can look at www.uts.net. He's got all kinds of videos. He's got them up on YouTube. And I'm using basically the same scoop coater he does. Basically, it's a piece of 1-inch angle iron cut to the length that you need for your screens. You plug the ends, you stick a handle on the back. It's easy to hold on to, and it's easy to work with. I'm not going to go into all the technical stuff. I'm just going to demonstrate. So let me put my emulsion sheet aside there. And what I have here is the last of my liquid emulsion on this run. So it should be good for a couple more screens, and then that's going to be the end of it. Now, I made sure that my screen was nice and clean, and I just reclaimed it, so it's been scrubbed out. I know there's no contaminants on it or anything like that. If I wasn't sure, I would probably wash it down with simple green and water again. But this time I'm pretty sure already. I made sure that my scoop coater was nice and clean, and I just now, before I started the video, I cleaned it out with a little bit of simple green, then water, then I dried it real good. So here we go. I now have the emulsion in my scoop coater. I'm going to start off about 1/2 inch from the bottom. Bring the scoop coater up until the emulsion makes contact with the screen. And start bringing it up. Now you see I'm not in a big rush. I'm getting a nice even layer here. And now I'm up where I need to be, so I'm going to back the scoop coater off. I'm going to break contact. And up we go. And there is the back side, or the printing side of the screen. Now I'm going to do the other side. And in doing this, I'm basically going to push the emulsion back through the screen again. I make contact, start working my way up the screen. I give it quite a bit of contact because I don't want to get too thick of a layer on. And once again, up at the top, I start breaking contact, and I tail it off. And I can put my scoop coater down. And there we go. Now, the lights I'm working on under two 100-watt yellow bug lights. That's why there's not, it's not perfect light in here. And I'm only working on webcams, so it's not going to be fancy. Okay, Yudo screen once again. Flat side, I'm going to stick in my dry box down. I'm not using my Yudo to dry because I find that the airflow just isn't enough in those things. So I built my own dryer box. It's also a pretty nice work surface when I get down to it. Okay, so that one's done. Give me a minute. I want to get this emulsion back into the can. So I'm going to put you on hold. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I got the work surface all cleaned up. I got my scoop coater all cleaned up. It's really important when you're using liquid emulsion that as soon as you're done and you got your screen someplace safe, make sure you get your stuff cleaned up, because old emulsion can act as a contaminant, just like the oils from your fingers can act as a contaminant on the screen. And another word about that, you want to make sure that your screen is clean. I mean clean, no dirt, no oils from your hands even, because that can cause the emulsion to back away from that spot or fisheye. It's like trying to paint over a piece of oil, an oil spot on the wall. The paint won't stick. Well, neither will the emulsion. So you want to make sure that everything is nice and clean. So where was I? Oh yeah, I've got my new screen over here. Here is my very last Yudo emulsion sheet. This is one that came with stuff that came with my Yudo when I first bought it, and I got it online. I didn't buy it through the special deal on the infomercial. Let's see here, get that sheet off of there. So now I've got the dull side and the shiny side. I want to make sure the dull side is up. I got a little crease in this, so I might have a bad spot, but it's not going to be in my print area. So, dull side up. Now I want the back side of the screen, or the real flat side, not the side with the lip on it, but the flat side, down against the dull side. Okay. I know I'm brushing this with my hand, but my hands are extremely clean at the moment because I just scrubbed them from washing up from the liquid emulsion. Okay, so I got this down right on top of the dull side of my screen. I want to make sure I'm definitely flat there. So now I've got a spray bottle of water. Make sure that it's turned on. And all I'm going to do is spray the screen. And here I'll switch over to the top view camera, and you'll get to see the stuff suck up. Well, now it's time to dry off the top of my box. I forgot to plug my microphone back in during that last segment, but you got to see how the emulsion will suck right up to the screen just by spraying the opposite side with water. You don't have to use a sponge and drench it down. Start with a dry screen. Excuse me, start with a dry emulsion sheet. Spray bottle. It'll go up every single time. If you need to push bottles or bubbles out of it, you just move the air bubbles out. You don't have to really press hard. You're more likely to get streaks in your emulsion if you press hard. Just gently move your air bubbles on out. Okay, so now I've got two screens in my box. Now, the problem, well, one of the many problems with the Yudo machine. Now, I love my Yudo. It got me started in screen printing. From there, I built my own single color press that made it easier to load the t-shirts on. I only do like 10 or 15 at a time, but messing with that platen just was frustrating for me. And then I built my own 4-color press. Not that I'm ever going to do a production run of my own, other than the 10 or 15 I do at a time for my family and friends. But it's still nice to have and nice to know I could do it. But getting back to the problem with the Yudo is those dinky fans inside take forever to dry anything. So like I said, I built my own drying box, and it's a dark box. And a visit to Fry's Electronics, that's local here in Southern California. I don't know if they're across the nation or not. I went ahead and bought 3 fans, mounted them in a hunk of metal. And this is the front of my drying box. So now I just plug it on in, lock it down. Whoops. Lock it down, it says in the fine print. plug it into some power. Now I've got some air moving across those screens. Another thing that I've done is, once again, making sure that the screen is horizontal. You can put standoffs on it on a nice flat surface, well, like my top of my drying box here, and stick a box fan in front of it. In 15 or 20 minutes, you're going to have a dry screen. On a day like today where it's kind of rainy outside, it might take a little bit longer because it's not warm enough to pull all the moisture out of the air. But I'm going to be ready with these screens, I'd say within an hour, which is a lot quicker than my Yudo ever managed to do. So now my Yudo is my light box. I still love my Yudo. I just don't use the pieces that came with it very much. And, well, we'll see how the screens turn out, and I'll be back with you in, I don't know, hour and a half, just because I'm going to go in and play with the grandkids. Good morning, and here I am with my screens out of the dryer. Now, as you see, I look a little bit different, and that's because I got a little sidetracked last night and didn't get back out here to keep working on my job. Now, I did get out to peek on my screens while they were drying, and my emulsion screen that you see here, my liquid emulsion screen, it was ready to go in about 30 minutes. So you got to like that. It goes on easy. Out of a bottle, you can probably get 25, 30 screens, depending on how heavy you coat. Some people just coat one side. I coat both sides, so I get a few less screens than other people do. Out of a single bottle of emulsion, anyway. My Yudo screen, with the capillary film, it took a little bit longer, but here it is, and it looks fairly good. I mean, there's a few wobbles in the screen, and that's because probably I got it a little bit too wet, and maybe was a little bit too heavy-handed with the squeegee pushing the air bubbles out of it. But here we're going to peel this here screen stuff off, the plastic film that covers the shiny side. And there we go. I got a screen that's ready to use right here. So you saw how easy it was to put on, and the Yudo film works pretty good. I'm still not going to go back to using it. This was my last sheet, and I'm not going to go back because the liquid emulsion sheet, or liquid emulsion, goes on nice and easy. It dries quickly. It's ready to use a lot quicker, and it's cheaper in the long run. So, which way would you go? So, Speedball liquid emulsion works great for the hobbyist. There's tons of liquid emulsions out there. So, you got to choose what you want to use. And that's it. I'm not going to show you how to print because that's not what the idea here was. This was mostly for Ron. Ron, this was for you. Enjoy the deli, and we'll see you later. Bye.